no one's going that hardcore. So for the community side, we're going to have Goth Annie being played by Shake Like Haiti, traditional Sejuani being played by Shy Raven. Vegematics going to be rocking TPA Oriana. Boneclaw Shyvana being played by Taper Rexdale. Arctic Warfare Caitlyn is going to be played by Evox.
Yes, and on Riot side, Riot Rojan is on Gatekeeper Gallia, looking like a support there. Kiru is on Spirit Guard Udyr in the jungle. Riot Miss Pudding is on Phoenix Queen AD carry. Eliv, Riot K9 Nasus, how appropriate, a Rioter using a Riot skin. And Riot Morgageddon on the splash screen all the way. It's on some Malzahar skin that I don't remember the name of.
Anyway, some Malzahar skin, which is gold and stuff.
Yeah, and for the first time in my memory of your streaming, we have an all-skin game.
Yeah, all skins on both sides. The community wanted to show off their Riot points. Or I believe in Goth Annie's case, was it liking Facebook or
no? That was Alistair. One of the bundles, I think.
Yeah,
and
maybe
also
it was one of the bundles.
Shy Raven's dedication to Sejuani because that's a traditional Sejuani.
Traditional.
Yep, you had to have that. You had to own Sejuani before the rework / update or whatever it was, a visual update before that came out. And I think there was also a slight rework to her kit. I think they changed up the AoE dot, I believe, to kind of mix with her kit a lot better. And yeah.
Now, personally, I really like Shyvana Jungle. I've been playing it quite a bit, and it's a really strong jungle. It's not the strongest ganking early on. Even when you get Dragon form, it's not like this great ganking force. But her ability to farm the jungle very quickly and push, maybe not get the kill on a gank, but push them out of lane and just take the towers. Win the game by taking towers, control the dragon, because you are a dragon. So it's your buddy. It just falls down for you when you want it to. And pretty safe start from both sides coming out here, though.
If I remember correctly about reading through the lores, I'm pretty sure that the dragons have kind of disowned Shyvana. Just like being a half dragon is like, it's almost, if you're into Star Trek, it's like a Klingon being half Klingon. It's kind of, Anyway, yep. I'm getting a little off topic there.
So we have Kigu smiting off the blue, starting there. Sejuani starting the exact opposite side, picking up her blue a little bit slower than the Udyr, which is to be expected. Doesn't get as strong a leash from a bot lane AD carry and that support Galio that they have down bottom. And it'll be really interesting to see where the CS goes, because Quinn is an excellent duelist at low levels, but they have repetitive stuns on the blue side. So, a duelist's strength is when she blinds and then trades, but if she blinds and then gets stunned, it really kind of ruins her 1v1 potential to trade that damage.
But then again, you're not completely 1v1 in bot lane. You also have the support Galio to back you up with actually does a surprising amount of damage and a lot of poke if you let him. I believe it's Resolute Smite. The Q especially is quite devastating if you take too many hits from that. One thing I noticed about mid lane, however, Vegematics started with his shield at level 1, kind of expecting to take a lot of trade damage, and Morgageddon is actually pressing his advantage to get levels up on him early.
Yeah, he is. And we're going to see his first gank come up top. Rexdale, though, has already warded it and going to just kind of back off here. Shyvana being very tanky, but Kiru will know the wards there. Going to take it out with her sweeper, or its sweeper, I guess, man bear everything. And Shy Raven's disconnected. That is going to be a cause for a pause. Not applause, but pause.
And Shy Raven, are we... Is Shy Raven known to disconnect? Nah, he's back. Never mind.
And one thing I noticed about top lane is that Shyvana has a huge advantage early on in this lane. I mean, that is Shyvana's lane to lose, but it's also Shyvana's job to make sure that Nasus isn't getting free farm and getting those much-needed stacks on the Siphoning Strike. So see if Shyvana's able to shut that down. So far, only up by 4 CS, and I think that's mainly because the wave's pushed up to his tower just about now, so he's probably going to be able to regain most of that CS.
And Shyvana at least has somewhat of an ability to range CS with the Flame Breath. But one thing specifically about Shyvana, just like Quinn, she's really great at out trading 1v1. And if you can get the Flame Breath onto Nasus, then just a quick Q, basically triple auto attack, get a Q reset. You hit them for 3 times that percent health, and it can just shut a Nasus down really quickly if you can get 1 or 2 of those trades off.
Yeah, that's quite a bit of damage. They're kind of trading top and bottom. It looks like they want to fight. There's a little engagement down bottom, but no one too worse for wear. Just a few health bars being ticked off there. A little bit of a ward battle I see down in the bottom lane as they're using their sweepers, because Annie didn't come equipped with a sweeper. She's actually rocking the additional ward. So if he caught that ward, it's kind of just no gain, no loss situation.
And it's actually... both of the bot lanes are actually kind of safe from ganks, I would say, even if they're without wards, unless they just get caught off guard, because Udyr really doesn't have that much mobility to gank without just running at you, or like blowing his flash or something. So a targeted Annie stun will stop that in his tracks, but actually Mispudding taking a lot of damage bot lane. He's going to be zone out for that CS for quite a while. He's already at a level disadvantage, in fact, but Giant Wave coming to his turret should at least get that experience back, swinging to even again. But he is still pretty low, and Kiru's hanging off on the side looking for something. But if they force a gank, Mispudding is going to be too low to participate without getting killed.
Well, she always has the Vault and the Blind. With Annie back, I think they're going to be safe, but Caitlyn might be in a world of hurt here. She's going to get slowed. Rojan going in, getting a little bit of extra damage here. Will Mispudding get the Vault? There's the slow. A lot of damage coming down. The exhaust is out, forcing the flash of V-Box, but here comes Q with the flash, going to get the first blood right there, even though the perfect trap came down for the counter kill in the jungle, but it was not enough to save her life.
Yeah, and unfortunately the double buff goes to no one, because that was... Actually, no, I think one of the buffs ran out. Anyway, goes nowhere. The jungler died to someone who was already dead.
Oh,
but Giant Raven looking for a return gank now.
Oh, and a great flash stun right there. Andy picking up that kill. A little bit more gold in that bot lane. And now Mispudding wants to trade a little bit with Andy, but a little bit scared because Annie does a lot of damage. Level 4, even with 0 ability power, her 2 combo is still, almost 200 damage. And
it's surprising that Mispudding is stuck around here that long. I actually just checked the gold, and she just passed the 1550 mark, so that's a BF sword, and it must have been what she was waiting on. But she was staying there low for a really long time, but Shake Like Hay is trying to gank mid lane. Unfortunately, that was a level 5 Annie against a level 6 Malzahar, so that would have been pretty much a face laser into the face.
Yeah, it was a 2v1, but Malzahar actually had the ward, I think, spotted Annie coming up through that side brush, so was able to be in a good position when she finally showed up the lane. So Caitlyn coming back. We can take a look at the CS right now. Mid lane looking pretty even right here, 50 to 48. Not too far apart. Same thing with top lane. Also looking very even. Nasus going back to finally buy, and he's going to go right for a Spectral Cowl with Spectre's Cowl, which is a good pickup get versus Shyvana, because just being in range of her or taking damage from her E pretty much means that you're going to get a proc off that and get the health regen out of it, as well as take reduced damage.
Absolutely.
And in the bot lane, 35 to 31, each one having 1 kill, but the first blood going to Quinn, picking up that BF sword, whereas we have the pickaxe and the longsword for Caitlyn.
It looks like that's either a really early Last Whisper, or that's Eeviox committing really early to an Infinity Edge over a Bloodthirster. So basically going for more of an auto attack oriented build against a Nasus. I'm not entirely sure if that's just overconfidence or kind of just sticking to... it's not a bad build, don't get me wrong, but...
It's probably a choice where, I have the gold, do I want to get something that's going to keep me in lane, or something that's going to help me trade? And when you have a Sejuani jungle, which is also primarily magic damage, it's not a bad choice, because whoever's going to show up top is going to be trying to beat you down with magic damage, and that's a lot of early game MR and HP to boot.
And what I'm thinking is Eeviox is actually now I take back what I said earlier about Nasus kind of being a threat just because, like, auto attacks. Because Caitlyn is actually going to be really safe in these fights. She has a massive range advantage over anyone. She can outrange the Malzahar ult with her own auto attacks. Everyone else is either short range or melee on the rest of the Riot team. So that, combined with the engage power of community, basically any build that Eeviox goes with is going to make him safe. But looks like Taper XDL is finally reconnected. We should be unpausing here pretty shortly. One thing I actually noticed a minute ago before the pause is that even though the CS in mid lane is quite even, the trades have been going quite well in Morgageddon's favor. Last time I checked, Vegematic was at his turret half health, but even then he was still getting just about all the CS under his own turret and doing fairly well keeping up there.
Yeah, it's a really slow going early game, and we just had that one big trade down bottom pretty much that's kind of the only deciding factor right now. Nobody's snowballing, nobody's getting a huge advantage because it was kind of a 2 kills for community, 1 kill for Riot, and there is the stun early on right there. And what a good trade. I mean, the Piltover Peacemaker came in directly after the stun and landed right on Riot Mispudding, something you can't blind for.
Yeah, Shy Raven's in mid lane trying to go after Morgageddon, but he is not level 6 yet. There's no... and Shockwave.
Ooh, the Shockwave came down. She's going to flash and pick up the kill anyways with a charge right there as they're trading down bottom, but it looks like she's going to get caught out in the jungle here. And I'll take a quick look down bottom. It's going to be a kill onto Mispudding and a flash out of Galio to safety. See if Shy Raven can do the juking and ward it over the other side right there. It is going to get out A-okay. What a good job by that Boar Rider.
That is a great juking. It's actually, Shy Raven had the mobility advantage over the Udyr, just because you can actually hop over walls with Arctic Assault, where Udyr really can't, and he had his splashdown from his first blood attempt at bot lane.
Yeah, it was the bot lane trade. I didn't get to see the whole thing, but it looked like, Annie's Tipper's not on cooldown, so they actually got it at level 5. Oh, big damage for Rogen, and the snipe from the headshot is going to be another kill for bottom lane, and now they're going to be way ahead. That's 2 kills for Caitlyn and 2 for Annie in that bot lane.
Just a minute ago, there wasn't even 100 gold difference between the AD carries. It was actually in favor of Mispudding, but now that is going to put Community's bot lane way ahead. And it looks like Kiru is looking for a lot of counter jungling here and may come around behind Taper XDale on top lane. But no, he just goes back to the river and instead looks to go back to farming.
Yep, they're going to go back to their farm off up top here. Shyvana being down by 11, but just went back to buy when her wave was at tower. So it was a really inopportune to go back and buy her items when Nasus went back at a good time.
Yeah, but now that means she gets to force another wave into his tower that he won't be able to Q-stack. Or not. Nah, he'll get back to get a few of those. We have, looks like Riot's trying to set up for Dragon, trying to get back some of this gold lead. We have Kiru coming down in the area, and actually a good pink ward set up in that Dragon pit that'll last until any community member knocks it out. But now we also have Shy Raven looking for a gank in the bot lane. He does have his ultimate up, so this should be interesting.
Yeah, going to be coming in around the backside. Shy Raven actually sits on a ward, doesn't commit, and I think she would have been able to catch him if she just had run in. Even with that ward there, she would have definitely got there fast enough to create a fight. They had Tibbers up along with the Glacial Prison, so that's a long time to be sitting stunned.
Yeah, that ward's also about to run out. Rogen, never mind. Refreshing it right as I say that.
Oh, in mid lane we have Shy Raven jump in. There is the pull in from Morgageddon. It is a 2v2. Can Orianna pick up the kill? Shy Raven really wants this one. Does she have the charge up? She has red buff being applied to Morgageddon. Going to get stunned out right there. But the block from Kiru is going to save Morgageddon, and the shield's coming out though. Kiru, I don't know if Kiru can take this right now. It might be a red buff for Shy Raven. Vegematic picking up the kill, but Nasus is down bottom with the ignite, picking up the counter kill on Sejuani. Vegematic getting a little greedy, wanting Morgageddon, and is going to retreat to the bush as Eliv jumps in here, dragon form, to make sure that Vegematic can get out A-okay.
Meanwhile, in the bot lane, we had an engagement, a great flash tippers, and a boom headshot right on top of Miss Pudding. Actually, a great place. Galio ultimate caught out both of Community's bot lane members in the midst of all that, but Miss Pudding was way too low health by the time that happened that she just could not participate, couldn't save her own support or herself in that case. Didn't even bother using barrier to block the ace in the hole. So I'm wondering if that's just slow reaction times. It shouldn't have been, but...
It's surprising to see no play for Dragon to come out of all that action. It seemed like Community could have gone for a Dragon with an Nasus and still having the advantage in the bot lane, but they decide not to go for it. Everybody kind of just meandering back to their lanes. Rexdale doing a little bit of trading with Eliv right now, and look at the health regen coming out of that Spectre's Cowl right now. Eliv doesn't have to worry about it whatsoever. No damage items, but here comes Shy Raven for another gank up top lane. Eliv has a red buff, big damage coming down. There's the Ignite, might be a little early. Fury of the Sands is up, but not going to use it as Kiru is there to peel with the stuns in Phoenix form. And that is going to be just a used summoner spell, but they might come back and re-engage here. Shy Raven wants a piece, but Malzahar comes up top. Kiru picks up that kill, and now Shy Raven's in a lot of trouble. The Ignite is down from Morgageddon. There it is, the Nether Grasp, and that is going to be game over for Sejuani. And Orianna not able to push the lane and pull a tower out of this one because they're already there.
Yeah, Ace and Hole used in the bot lane. Miss Pudding was taken very low right before that, but yes, Rojan did body block and keep them both alive, at least for the time being. It actually makes a little sense that they're not going for Dragon. Community so far has decisively won laning phase, or at least gone even in all lanes. But bot lane is a deciding factor, and as long as they have turret pressure, it looks like they'd rather just keep that pressure instead of going for Dragon.
Ooh, a great stun right there. Stuns out the Idle Duran. Caitlyn going to be able to pick up a kill with a Piltover Peacemaker. What a perfectly timed stun to stop the taunt from Galio and save both their lives under that turret.
Yeah, and I think Shake like Haiti was predicting that the Galio ultimate would be used because they were both just under the turret. Great preemptive stun there. And they're taking the turret pretty low here. But Kiru, of course, going down there to help out Miss Pudding will keep them off, at least for now.
Yeah, they're really pushing the bottom lane because they know they have such a strong advantage down there. And it looks like Malzahar is going to go back. Morgana does not want any of the Shy Raven ganks because he's got the ward in the right place. She was pretty much just standing on top of it. So just wasting her time there. And she's actually fallen behind in levels. Kiru has 2 levels right now on Shy Raven because of the amount of farming that Kiru's done in between ganking. Whereas Shy Raven really hasn't been able to pick up that much CS.
Yeah, unfortunately that's the case. One thing that... sorry, I completely forgot where I was going with that. But we do have Shy Raven sitting on a ward in bot lane. No one to really help with the gank because Shake Like Haley only just got back to flash tippers though.
Oh, and Riot is putting it in lockdown from the double AoE stuns. Shy Raven helping Annie pick up that kill. It's a little bit of fire and ice right there. The Tibbers in the prison at the same time, and you just can't move. I mean, that's like over 3 seconds of just complete CC where you just hang out and you can't do anything about it. And a great initiation from the Flash Tibbers.
It should be a free Dragon, but it looks like it might be a free kill on the Morgageddon if he stays put. No stun.
Oh, the pings came down, and it looks like Malzahar goes to trade right there, going to use the ult and the Flash just to jump out of there. And so those are both down. They get the bottom tower, which is what they've been looking for. I'm also surprised they didn't go for a Dragon play right there. They definitely had the advantage with Udyr in the top lane.
Yeah, Udyr was around his red buff right as Shy Raven went for Morgageddon. But now Kira's looking to get this Orianna in mid lane. Rojan in the wings as well, but he is spotted out by that ward. Sleeper will take care of that.
Yeah, so they know what's going down in the mid lane. Annie's there. She's looking for a 2v2 with Orianna. Orianna does have the command Shockwave up. They do not know that Udyr is close by in their top jungle, but it looks like he's going to roam up towards the top lane right now. There's just too much vision to make anything happen.
Kiru is getting happy feet going between mid and top here. Looks like he'll just settle for some counter jungling instead of going for the Orianna. But he's about to get cut out by Shy Raven. Or not. Shy Raven just runs past, but they run into each other.
Yeah, they get a quick glance at each other, and the pings come down for the help. Bottom lane continues their push down here. Rojan doesn't have a lot of armor right now. Just has the one cloth armor, and that's not enough to take the auto attacks that he would need to stand up to Caitlyn. And, I mean, Caitlyn on her way to the Infinity Edge, going for the big ticket item right off the bat.
It looks like Rojan's also trying to rush that Locket of the Iron Solari, or Aegis of the Legion into Locket. Just by all those items. It's not something you see support starting with very often now. Usually it's Sight Stone or something just to get a big chunk of health on you. And actually that, at the moment, would probably be the better buy. His Self Shield he can use.
Ooh, and in the mid lane, a great job. Morgageddon catching that Orianna as she crossed over. She picked up the race, was at half health. He just dropped the Void Zone, put the Void Zone, put the full combo on her, and took her down pretty effortlessly right there. And that's going to be the first tower for Riot, evening it up 1-1 in towers.
Yeah, and they're actually not that far behind. It's only about a 1.2, 1.3k-ish disadvantage on their part. But what I'm thinking is the very first dragon will be probably the thing that decides the gold lead, or at least keeps it even for the time being if Riot gets it. But so far, again, surprisingly, no one has gone for it. Both sides have had clear advantages, and one jungler is either just like in the area and one's far away, or they just got a good kill on a mid lane for Malzahar. Morgageddon has been really dominating that lane, even though he's been behind in CS. He's just been out trading Orianna at every turn.
Oh, Miss Pudding might be in trouble here. Shake Like Haiti going to land the stun. There is a flash from Miss Pudding. She's going to tag team and get out of there. That was both Summoner and Ult used to get out of there, knowing that Annie had Tibbers and Ignite up. She did not want to quarrel with a 2v2.
You know, one thing I forgot to mention, like I said, Riot has a great split pushing team. They also have a great objective control team if they can ever decide to do so. Fury of the Sands plus attack speed from Quinn is just going to melt any dragon or any Baron they decide to go after. But again, I'm not sure why they haven't decided to go for it yet. Both sides have had clear vision advantage over Dragon as well, but it looks like Kiru finally want to start, but it looks like he's just sleeping.
Yeah, we're approaching the 20-minute mark, and I think this is where we're going to see some pink wards start coming down by the Dragon. Malzahar is... Morgageddon has one in his inventory. They didn't quite see that ward with the candy cane right there in the corner. And Shyvana, though, meanwhile, putting in a good amount of damage up top, so they either need to make a play for this Dragon and go for a 4v4, or back out and push the lanes. And it looks like they're going to back out and push as Nasus versus Shyvana goes on up top a little bit more.
Yeah, Wither with the burnout they just kind of cancel each other out, and Taper XL gets away pretty safely. We have a lot of pressure on mid lane right now. Vegematic might be caught out just trying to defend his own turret.
Yeah, Vegematic just going to clear the waves right there, doing a good job at getting the tower on her side instead of the minions, and making sure she can kind of stove off that pressure. Void Zone, a little bit of Space Aids going down, and Rexdale and Eliv still just trading back and forth, bashing on each other. There are pings coming down, though, for Shyvana. Will Shyvana actually back out of this one? She could be in a world of hurt if they come up behind her tower and decide to dive her.
Yeah, and that is also a free blue steal for Kiru, but he runs right into a ward, sweeps it out, and decides not to gank. A lot of community gathered around this Baron area, though. Not quite really to get Baron, it's just kind of reacting to Riot's pressure that they're doing. They're stealing out all of community's jungle, it looks like. But it seems like the top river area is not the place to be at this point in the game. Dragon at least should be the point of focus, and community is finally paying because they want it.
I mean, in this Dragon area, there are 8 wards out, including 1 pink ward. I mean, there are wards all over the place, and there's a little bit of poke damage down onto Shy Raven, but the Command and Protect able to mitigate a good amount of that, and they're really kind of posturing around this, but nobody with a pink ward on the side of community, so they can't clear out the wards. They're not sure where they have vision in which bushes. Shy Raven needs to be careful because she can be taken down from a full lock of CC coming out of that Malzahar ultimate.
I really can't wait for a team fight to break out right now. Not just because I keep mentioning Dragon as an objective, but because both sides have hit a lot of power spikes with items. Both the AD carries have Infinity Edge. There's the not Runic Bulwark, Aegis of the Legion that's finally completed on Riot Rojin. The Haunting Guys on the support Annie. Any fight that happens, someone is going to die very quickly.
And now we have Malzahar going to start the dragon off by himself. He's already got it down to half health all alone. They're kind of backing off right here, letting Malzahar solo this with his Voidlings. They have vision. Are they going to get in here? Here comes Shy Raven. She has the smite available. They're going to grab the dragon, but the fight's going to break out anyways. Rojin going to go down. Shyvana grabbing the tower up top. Meanwhile, they're going to flash back over the wall. There is a great command shockwave on both of the carries. Miss Pudding is the next target. Morgageddon is out of mana.
Boom,
and
headshot.
There's a headshot coming in on Kiru. Will he be able to come in on this? He needs to be very careful, though, because Caitlyn has a lot of damage. There's a stun, and that is another kill for Orianna coming down right here. A great team fight from community, and they picked up the dragon as they jumped in there. Udyr wasn't in a position to secure the dragon where Shy Raven came over the wall. She had the vision, and she picked it up with smite right after the Malzahar ultimate faded.
That was actually a very well played team fight on both sides. Particularly just Morgageddon. He forced it just by trying to solo dragon with his passive Voidlings. But particularly, he cut out Shy Raven with an ultimate while Shy Raven was taking dragon damage. So it brought him very low, and it actually kind of made the engage potential for community kind of back off for a while, allowing a lot of Riot to put a lot of damage out before they went down. Dragon eventually did go over to community, Shy Raven on top of that with a smite, and Eviox, I believe, was actually finishing off the dragon as the Malzahar ultimate was going off. So that good dragon and good team fight for community side, putting them around about 4K in the lead at this point.
Yeah, that's a decent gold lead. It's just above that 10% mark that everybody talks about, where you really start getting a snowballing advantage. You know, when you own 10% more resources than the other team does, as long as you also have a good amount of map pressure and map vision, which they're going to have all the tier 1 turrets down now because they're up by 1 turret, and they can really create a situation where they can pick off carries or even pick off tanks right now, because really the only super tanky one is the Nasus. Udyr does not have much armor whatsoever, and Caitlyn is very stacked right now. I mean, she's rocking the Infinity Edge. She's almost to the Phantom Dancer right now. And there we have an engage down bottom. Miss Pudding double teaming out of there.
Headshot.
The headshot's gonna take out the bird, just as if Caitlyn was hunting in her Arctic Warfare suit. Shake Like Haiti gonna pick up the other kill right there, and that's a 2-0 exchange down bottom as they pressure the mid lane. Riot trying to make something happen right here.
Yeah, they were just trying to respond to the pressure in bot lane, but Shy Raven was way too close. Anything they tried on that turret would have been turned around. And it looked to me like Riot was a little too eager to take out that bottom turret. It would have evened out the turret score, but they just cannot handle the 2v2 situation against Eviox and Shake Like Haiti. But Taparex Dale is trying to turret dive Eliv right now. It's not working
Oh, he's
out.
turning around. He has the Ignite up onto Shyvana. Who's going to get the kill right here? It's so close! Eliv actually going to take it out in those couple tower hits. All that K9 Nasus needed to take down the dragon. And it looked like he was in a lot of trouble, but he waited out the Ignite, popped the Fury of the Sands, and then decided to trade with the tower on his side.
Yeah, so far it has been Taparex Dale in that top lane having the advantage. He got the turret first. He was able to push against Nasus most of the game, but so far, I mean, at this point, he got a little too greedy. He took too much turret damage, and that was actually the deciding factor in that fight. He would have won if he didn't decide to dive.
Yeah, they're putting a little pressure in the mid lane here. Sejuani came in. She wanted to kill, but she's actually going to get ulted by Malzahar, and there's a great command shockwave into a Glacial Prism. Everybody's falling over. Both the carries are down as Kiru goes bear stance and gets out of dodge. They're going to be able to push up right here. And they use the cooldowns on Shy Raven, and that is just not the target you need to lock down.
Yeah, and I'm not Yeah, they don't have any minions to push the mid lane right now. Evioc's getting a little too greedy going after Rojan, but that will be the Nasus coming around to help him. Tibbers going out, though.
Oh, wow. The damage coming down from Tibbers is monstrous right now. You know, shocking not to see the magic resist being stacked up on that Galio. He just has a Chalice in the Aegis right now. But it's really tough when Caitlyn gets ahead to play Galio with that defensive magic resist build.
Yeah, the one thing you can't really... And especially, even though it is a lot of magic damage on Community's side, the chunk of the damage onto Galio is all Caitlyn. They're not even bothering focusing him, and not just because he wasn't in the fight, they just simply don't care about Galio. The engage potential for Community is too strong. You just saw there, Shockwave alone. I don't even think... was the Sejuani ultimate used in that mid lane fight?
Yes, it was. It was right after the Shockwave. They were kind of pulled in, and the Glacial Prism came flying in after the CC was off of Sejuani.
But even then, before Sejuani's ult flew in, what is it? Glacial Prism? But before that went in, the Shockwave itself was decimating all 3 of those Riot members. Well, I say all 3. Kirio was hardly affected because he's just tanky as crap right now. A lot more trading going down the top lane. Eliv still actually losing to Taper Extale despite the kill he got, and almost second completed item.
Yeah, now that Rexdale, though, has a Blade of the Rune King, able to trade the damage down pretty well. I mean, it's pretty much whoever has minions comes out the winner of that fight. But Shyvana has the advantage because she can just auto-attack up, and look how much HP she has back just from killing the golems, then coming back to lane. So now she's becoming that split push dragon, and really creating a lot of pressure in this top lane for Riot to deal with.
Speaking of pressure, Risk Pudding is reacting, and Eliv is trying to come out. Tag team is popped.
Tag team's out. She's going to get vision right there. She's chasing a little bit too far, though. She needs to be careful. Rexdale can turn around and fight this one. Miss Pudding taking a lot of damage, but Rexdale realizing, wait. Quinn wouldn't fight this unless she had help. So Rexdale being a very smart dragon right there and deciding to back off, not wanting to fight the 2v1.
Yeah, it looks like Community is actually burning a lot of engaged tools from Riot without even really trying. Just one anti-Q onto Riot Rojan a second ago burned his flash, which is really the only engaged tool flash idle ran from Rojan. Eliv burned his ghost just trying to catch up to the Quinn a second ago, who popped her ultimate. Just by Community playing their comp right, they're just winning without trying.
Yeah, they're doing a great job. And we haven't seen that late-game Nasus monster yet. He's pushing back a little bit. The dragon's up. Nobody wants to fight the 4v4 again, which is surprising because Community really has the advantage right here. And top lane, Taper not forcing the ultimate out, but Sharaven starting out the dragon. And they're scared of this Annie right here. They cannot get anywhere near Annie because she's going to start this fight, and they'll be in a lot of trouble. There's a command Shockwave, only grabbing Rojan and Kiruro. There is a great Glacial Prism blocking him down. Morgageddon, though, getting more than half health from Shake Like Haiti, and they're going to try to chase them out of here after picking up the dragon. Kiru might be in a little bit of trouble. A good slow, a flash from Caitlyn. Will she use? There it is.
Boom,
headshot. The headshot, not enough damage. Kiru getting out of there with a little bit of turret. I'm sorry, a little bit of turtle shell. And he's actually going into Baron Pit to recall, which is a very interesting choice right there.
It's interesting as long as Vegimac doesn't spot him. The ward just barely out of range, but Vegimac's caught.
Yeah, Vegimac's using the flash against the Nasus, but now it's going to be 2 mages versus Eliv right here, and 147 MR, nothing to mess with. Nothing at all.
And that is 250 extra damage from Q-Sacks on Nasus, and it's already chunking the squishies. It's not doing much to Taper Extale. Between the Ninja Tabi and the Sunfire Cape, he's taking almost no damage from Nasus at this point. He just doesn't care. Looking like a Trinity Force Shyvana coming out. That's not something you see every day.
Yeah, the Trinity Force is a really strong item, though. So, when I build my Shyvana, I actually build the Trinity Force. I don't go with the Blade of the Rune King, though. I actually go with like a Sunfire into a trying to think the AoE item there, a Tiamat, and then build into like a Spirit Visage.
Yeah, and that's Shyvana. Surprisingly, was the first champion I thought of. Not Jax, not really Corki. It was Shyvana I thought of when I first saw the new Trinity Force changes when Phage got reworked, and it is really strong on her. But now combining that with Way of the Ruined King, it's just making her a monster split pusher. One Q is going to chunk towers almost as much as a Nasus Q currently would.
Yeah,
and
she gets
that's saying something.
Double attack coming down there. Sha Raven taking some damage from Morgageddon, not really caring too much about his damage now that she's picked up a War of Mogs. She's just regenning it all back in between waves right here.
Looks like Kiru's going to finally take out that community bot turret, going to even it up 3-3, but Taperixdale, again, just drawing pressure. Eliv has called Rogen in almost for the last mid or so, just as help.
Oh, Rogen in a bad spot here. He's going to flash, and he flashes away from the dragon, saving his life right there out of Dragon's Descent. But down bottom, Kiru will pick up that tower. Tibbers came down, but I don't think it was a stun. Shake Like Haiti unable to stop this Udyr split push as a fight goes out top here. Eliv in the middle of it, and Riot Pudding actually picking up her first kill and a double kill. In a triple kill, on the 3v3 up top here. And I missed part of that fight, but I'm assuming they did not get the CC down onto Miss Pudding like they needed.
Yeah, unfortunately, Roten was actually taken out right at the beginning of the fight, but the Malzahar ultimate, along with Miss Pudding flat out assassinating Vegematic, was pretty much what won them that fight there. Again, it was the shockwave that pretty much took Rogen down to low health. With all the magic resist he has, he just cannot stand up to the Deathcap Athene's Void Staff of Vegematic. But Miss Pudding was hardly touched in the fight, and that's one thing you don't want to do with the AD carry right on top of you. Free damage, but they didn't go for it, and they lost the fight because of it.
Yeah, and now Nasus putting a little bit of pressure of his own and grabbed a Giant's Belt. So maybe going to go for a Randuin's Omen.
Or a Sunfire Cape. Or, I don't know. One thing that is interesting, Morgageddon has a Mikhail's Crucible. Want to talk about that?
I think everybody needs one on their team for this game because of the crazy combination of stuns that they can have if one of them lands on you. I don't think it's a bad idea to be picking them up, but it's really interesting to see it on the AP carry. Morgageddon actually going with a fairly tanky build, that Riley's Leandre's build, which is the slow and burn. Evox going to get caught out right here. So much damage coming down. A flash from Mixed Pudding and a little bit of revenge coming down right there as they run up. There's the Ignite. They are diving on Eliv and trying to take out this tower right here. They're almost going to get him. There it is. Shy Raven picking that one up. But Morgana in a bad spot. Command Shockwave coming down. Miss Pudding going to pop her cleanse right there. Shake Like Haiti doesn't have much left right here, but she almost gets the kill on Miss Pudding, and she's picking up all of these shutdown gold. But there's a Glacial Prison being locked up. Morgageddon going to be able to get out of there with a flash. But overall, it's going to be a 3-for-3 unless Kiru can pick up an extra kill right here. Shy Raven not going over the wall. Decides to go back into Morgageddon and going to be able to pick up this kill with Shyvana. But she has the dot on her. Will she live through it as Taper Rexdale still trying to get out of there? The burnout is popped. Not going to have an ult for a while. Doing a little bit of juking if she can. And I think Udyr is going to be able to pick up this kill. Oh, she jukes in the bush again with burnout. Going back through again. Kiru missing another bear stun as they go back and forth. And will Udyr finally pick this up? There it is. The Randuin's Omen pop just in case there's any more shenanigans going in and out of those bushes. So it's all in all, it's still going to be a 4v4 overall because Shy Raven was able to kill Malzahar and live through the dot.
That was a bit of a long team fight, so I'll try to break it down. Over the past several minutes and team fights, we've seen a lot of kills going to Miss Pudding. Great that it's going on the AD carry, so it's probably exactly what Riot needs to get them back in this game right now. But that's a lot of shutdown goals going all over the place to both teams. Annie got shut down. The Quinn and Caitlyn both got shut down. I believe... Actually, I think that's only 3 shutdowns. But again, ton of gold going back and forth. Dragon has been up for a while now. And there's down to about a 3k difference between the both teams. And at 36 minutes, that's not much. So we can probably expect the team fights to stay relatively even for a while. Or at least keep going back and forth like they have been.
Yeah, I was surprised when they watched Udyr recall right there that they didn't go straight for the dragon and pick it up, because they had Shy Raven and Caitlyn, and that's all you need to really capitalize on a lot of damage. There are pings coming down for the Baron as Shy Raven has started the dragon, and it's going to be jungler versus jungler down here at the dragon. No, Kiru definitely has the damage advantage. He's forced to go over the wall, and it's going to be Eliv zoning out the community side as they take a free dragon here. Oh no! A built-over Peacemaker steal from Evox, but now Evox in a lot of trouble, forced to cleanse that Wither off and the slow. Shy Raven being hit with the Malzahar ultimate, and that is game over for her as Quinn comes in and picks up the kill. Kill secured by that Quinn right there.
They want to keep fighting as long as this pudding is still in tag team, and they should be able to do it. But Shake Like Katie has the stun proc ready, and they won't keep chasing through that choke point. Evox, though, probably going to catch up Pudding here. One ace in the hole, should be able to finish it off, but no, just auto attack. And Miss Pudding goes down. That's a 50-second death timer that Community might be able to force Baron with, but Riot's going for it first.
Yeah, Riot's already up there starting it. They saw the sweeper, they saw the ward getting taken out there. They have a good amount of damage, but not as much as they're going to need. They don't have an AD carry to really take that down. Shyvana's checking. They know that they stopped and peeled off the Baron. Evox just needs to be very careful here not to take any type of CC. Oh my goodness, the damage coming down from the auto attacks onto Rojan. That is not feel good. I mean, Caitlyn with that AK-47 just pelting the Riot players.
I don't know much about guns, but I'm pretty sure it's not an AK-47. Regardless, Riot actually does have a lot of Baron pressure, even with Miss Pudding dead. They have a Nasus, of course, with a Sheen item in that Iceborne Gauntlet. They have a lot of percent health damage between the Null Zone and the, I forget what it's called, the mask thing. Why do names fail me right now?
Leandre's Torment?
Yeah, Leandre's.
You can hover right over it. Look, you hover right over it. I'll tell you what it is.
I know.
And nobody even knows you're cheating because I have the stream on mine. And Kiru actually going to get caught out right here. A lot of damage coming down. That Caitlyn just laying out the damage. Kiru's going to get out alive. They're not going to keep chasing, but they can force Kiru back and push an objective if they wanted to. I'm not sure Community really needs to kind of buck up and start taking the advantage that they're already built.
Yeah, they really need to, and because they haven't, there's a lot of the reason why the game is so close as it is. We are up to about a 5k advantage now after that last fight, and the Dragon snipe from Evox. Community wants to pressure mid, but they're not all really committed to it right now. They could easily do it, and fortunately they didn't blow too much just to force Kiru back. I don't even think that even an ultimate was burned there. No summoners either, but they really need to press the advantage while they have it. Again, the team fights are really in their favor, especially if Riot is a little careless in grouping like they can do under their own turret right now. 4 people almost pretty much on top of each other constantly is something that they don't want to do. But Community, again, not taking advantage of it, not getting too close to the turret. Looks like they're almost scared to engage.
Well, there's a really scary front line from Riot right now. You have Udyr, who's finished the Randuin's Omen. You have Nasus, who has the Iceborne Gauntlet, and Wither. And if they're able to even just wither the Orianna or the Caitlyn, they can almost force a flash out of them just by running towards them. There's just too much damage, potential damage in CC to come out from Galio and Malzahar that they can't allow Caitlyn to be in range of them whatsoever. You know, they'd have to peel with a Command Shockwave, peel with a Glacial Prism or a Tibbers, and it looks like they're going to get stunned on Rojan, but they're not going to commit onto Galio right now. I don't think that that's the target they want. Meanwhile, in the bot lane, they're going to get a chunk taken off their tower if they don't fall back and disengage this mid-fight.
Yeah, not to mention Eliv is split pushing in top lane. That is effectively 2 split pushers right now that Riot could have forced something in mid lane onto that turret as well. 3 lanes effectively pushing, but no, again, both teams back off. One thing I am noticing right now is that Kiru, it looks like he's building a Thornmail, and that's with all the health that will basically make him unburstable. He'll also be unkillable from the Caitlyn damage, but Community might look to force an engage here.
Oh, and there it is. A Flash Timbers comes down. Command Shockwave only grabbing Rojan, pulling him in. Miss Pudding getting zoned out by Taper, but Taper's going to go down as the first kill. Udyr picking that one up. There is the Glacial Prism coming forward, but a good peel from Malzahar as Sejuani's going to go down. Riot Morgan though getting a little too close to Caitlyn as she pelts her way to victory. Eliv just getting chunked away. A double kill for Caitlyn, and they're going to come out way ahead in this one. It looked like a bad engage from Shake Like Haiti, but they were able to put the damage on to Miss Pudding and get her out of the fight, and Caitlyn could just sit back and do what she does best when she has that 4-item Caitlyn. I mean, what a monstrous amount of damage that she's putting out right now.
I wasn't entirely sure if Isle of Duran got interrupted there. I didn't catch it being used, but it definitely is on cooldown right now, and I didn't really see it catching anyone. That's the one big engage tool or teamfight tool that Riot needs. They didn't get it off. Now they're 1 inhibitor down and 8,000 gold behind.
It seemed like possibly Dragon's Descent might have hit it, or the Command Shockwave. Because the Command Shockwave hit him as well as the Dragon's Descent, I believe. So either one of those could have knocked him out of the ultimate, but I couldn't see in the fray of things which one actually did it. But he wasn't able to get really anybody taunted or locked down in that. And it was another great Malzahar ultimate. They were able to take out Shy Raven, but they did not have an answer when Caitlyn came barreling through.
Yeah, Dragon's up in just 2 seconds now, and it looks like Community might forego it. They do have quite a bit of an advantage now, but that's really the comeback mechanic that's built into this game with Season 4. They shouldn't let it go, even though they do have a giant advantage right now, but they're kind of backing away from the area, and looks like, again, both teams don't really consider it an objective. Baron is really on the table right now, and even though Riot's behind, both teams have the capability to melt it as long as all 5 members are up.
Yeah, I mean, they're ahead by about 7,500 gold right now, give or take a few hundred gold. Dragon's up. It should be an easy, secure dragon right now. They should just walk down, take the dragon, and then walk back to mid lane and push it back up again.
Yeah, not to mention both the side lanes are actually pushing for Community right now. Just time, and that's not even because of the inhibitor changes that took that away. They're already pushing. Community, again, looking to force an engagement. A little bit of tickle damage will force them back, but just time is winning this game for Community right now. Forget the late game stacking of Nasus. Riot hasn't been team fighting that well, at least not recently, and they're losing the map for it.
They almost got the engage they wanted right there. They popped the speed boost from Annie, and she ran up, but wasn't able to kind of get him when they were all grouped. She was really hungry for it, but without Flash, she couldn't get up and solidify that engagement on. It would have been a 4-man Tibbers, and for sure could have ended the game for Community with a win.
Yeah, now they're pinging on the Baron with a lot of Riot forced back, the super minions on the steps of their base. A lot of the side lanes are pushed back out now, but they should have the control of Baron. There's, however, a Riot ward right in the back of the pit that's going to spot them out if they try to go for it, though.
Yeah, not enough pink wards in this whole game, in my opinion. They're so strong, and they're not as expensive as they used to be, that, not picking them up, there should be at least 3 people on the team grabbing a pink ward every once in a while to control a vision. We've seen so many fights and so much posturing around Dragon that could have been an easy win if you had the vision advantage.
Yeah, Shy Raven almost got caught out there just by trying to farm wraiths from the enemy jungle. Wouldn't have been that great, but thankfully enough for Community, the Riot team did not decide to engage on it. They didn't have much knowledge for the rest of Community was, so they decided not to go in. It would have been a free Baron for them in the long run because they would have taken the smite out, and about half of Community is engaged. Hero is cut out, though.
There is an ultimate down to Evox. They do not want this fight right now. Miss Pudding double teaming in, but right into a Tibbers. She's going to go down first as Kigru jumps in. Eliv going to try and dive with that Nasus power. The Wither down. There's a command Shockwave taking out Galio before he can do anything. And the CC train continues as Orianna picks up a double kill in that fight. And Malzahar had a great ultimate over the wall, but they did not kill the Caitlyn. the double team came in from Miss Pudding, and she was just way too close to a Tibbers. I mean, Annie rocking the amount of AP she has right now. I mean, 260 AP with a DFG is just, you cannot walk into that Tibbers.
I didn't really catch what happened to Eeviox there. My camera was off somewhere else. But it looks to me like, did it get interrupted or something with the Malzahar ultimate?
Well, no, Eeviox ate the whole Malzahar ultimate, but didn't have any additional damage on him. So Malzahar was hoping to hit him. I mean, she just needed like a breeze to kill her. I mean, she only had probably 200 or 300 health when the Malzahar ultimate finished, but they didn't collapse on her because they were all kind of fighting around Shy Raven on Sejuani in the middle of their team.
And that's one thing I kind of wanted. That's why I wanted to know how he survived, because Frozen Mallet on him, that 5 or less hundred health made the difference in him surviving, and it just so happens it kept him alive, even though it's not a common pick you see. But it actually fits really well into this composition they're playing against. Everyone's just going to be running at you. They don't have flash, they don't have really anything. Even if Miss Pudding can get the move speed from tag team in there, just hitting Valor constantly keeps him slow. Plus, as long as he's staying in combat, his move speed is halved, effectively.
Yeah.
Plus the slow on Frozen Mallet.
The Frozen Mallet's really effective versus a Nasus as well, because once Nasus gets in melee range, you have your 90 caliber net to disengage you. But if you can't slow him after your 90 caliber net wears off, he just withers you again, and then he catches up to you with an Iceborne Gauntlet, and you're in a lot of trouble. Meanwhile, Shy Raven going to get full combo ultimate down bottom, and that's a kill picked up by Malzahar. A flash for the secure, not even needed. And so now a half Baron team is going to be on the defensive here as Riot finally has the numbers advantage on the map.
Yeah, still 3 Baron buffs left on Community. They should be able to push... I didn't catch it. The mid inhibitor should be responding soon. But they should actually be able to push some of the
Miss Pudding's going to get caught out. There's a flash, and the Dragon form coming forward. That Frozen Mallet caught Miss Pudding out, so that is a big trade. I mean, they traded a tank for an AD carry, and they might be able to take out one of these towers. They have Malzahar coming from on. There's a command Shockwave. Rojan, though, with a great idol to ram. They're going to jump on a Vegematic, but that is going to be a disconnect from Eeviox. He's not moving at all. And that is an unfair advantage as the ball comes down to try and get them out of there. A flash stun from Kiru going to pick up the kill on a Vegematic. And I'm pretty sure, yes, it was a DC from the Caitlyn. Oh no, that is rough. When your Caitlyn is 10-2, you do not want her to DC right at the start of a team fight.
And usually, doesn't it, when you disconnect, it kind of defaults to you attack whatever's closest to you? Either way, I'm actually surprised Riot kind of kept fighting. Usually Riot is the good guy and is at least sportsman-like, but in their own base, I guess they shed the rules off for a little minute, shed the honor, and they did win the team fight. No damage from Caitlyn kind of stops Community in their tracks when they're trying to push down turrets. But again, 1 Baron buff still left in Shade Like Katie. Reconnect and an unpause, but Shade Like Katie might not get away from this.
Yeah, it's going to be close. She'll have a stun up very quickly. She's got 3 stacks, and she'll have the 4th one right here. And Kiguru actually has to be kind of careful. She picked up a death cap. She has 450 magic damage right now, or ability power, excuse me. Morgan finally getting a lot more damage too. A Void Staff and Death Cap completed on that Malzahar. So that is what allowed really him to pick up the Sejuani down bottom, was that Void Staff and all the additional damage. And there's another one, Shy Raven coming back for more. And not enough to finish her off, though. She's going to flash. Eliv not able to get... Oh, the Ignite. I was like, wait, did he stop to wither and miss it? But it was the Ignite onto her. And that is going to be a kill in a tower. Riot getting pretty lucky with that disconnect in the last fight there for the 4v5 with the Mal's ult down. But we'll see if they can actually turn this into a win. We're already 50 minutes into this game. 81K, excuse me, to 75K right now, and it's just actually gotten closer after that last fight.
Yeah, and I'm actually surprised, specifically for Shy Raven, why there is no magic resist on that Sejuani. All I see is a lot of armor, a lot of health, but it's the Malzahar Morgageddon that keeps catching that Sejuani out. And I'm really surprised not to see any magic resist, because it quite literally makes a difference right now between him surviving these fights, and he's died in pretty much all of them.
Yeah, it's pretty unfortunate when you get ulted as a tank, but it kind of playing into their strategy really well. If they're forcing a Malzul onto the tank, that is a huge amount of CC that they could lock down one of the carries, getting anywhere near the Orianna, even Annie at this point, or Caitlyn, because Annie can carry by herself right now. With a DFG, she almost has a Leandre's finished. The only two items she has that are support-worthy is the Talisman and the Ruby Sightstone.
Yeah, one thing you actually don't see very often is some upgraded yellow trinkets, which you see 4 of in the game right now. That is a Dragon to Riot effectively for free. Community instead deciding to push in the mid lane, which is a free exposed inhibitor. Riot wants to flank though, and it looks like Community will instead try to go back towards the Baron area, maybe try to Fnatic Death Bush or something, but they're just counter jungling. They're not spotted out by any wards though. They could theoretically get a good engage on if Riot's not careful.
Yeah, they got the wards right here. Miss Pudding might walk into this bush. No, she's only going up there to drop a ward. Definitely sensing, her bird sense is tingling right there. But they actually fall back to another bush, and they're very scared right now about walking into an Annie with Tibbers up in a bush. Not only that, but there's a cupcake down. We have a dragon in the bush. It's just something you do not want to walk into right now.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure Riot's aware of what they're trying to pull here. They're sitting on top of a ward, at least trying to react to this, but it looks like it's just a massive game of chicken. Eilov might be walking right into it.
Oh, he peeks the bush. He's going to put up out of the ran right there, but the Ignite is down. Will they be able to finish him off? Caitlyn picking up that kill, and that is the catch. Not the person they were looking for, but definitely the catch that they wanted. Caitlyn staying in the back line. There's a command shockwave, just annihilating Malzahar as he gets caught out. Kigru, they're trying to catch, but it looks like a double kill for Orianna. This might be GG. A double team coming in on Evox, but Evox is like, come on, I got a Bloodthirster, I have all these swords, along with the fact that I'm using a rifle, and Kigru's now going to get tower dove. They want the kill on Kigru instead of ending the game. Taper Rexdale's like, wait, what am I doing? I don't need to follow him. Let's go get the towers and finish this game off. And it's going to probably end around 53 minutes here. A great fought game from Community, and it was really the Caitlyn carry that gets the MVP, staying safe this whole game. Now Kigru at a last-ditch effort, trying to do something in the GA popped, but that is going to be GG. Game 1 going to Community.